Welcome back, friends, for what I believe is the last video in our sweater series. We have finished our entire sweater, knitting the sleeves, and I'm just so proud of you. Good job, good job, good job. The final thing, I went ahead and washed this. I'm going to go over a little bit about how to do that in a minute, but I wanted to show you how after washing and laying it out to dry, the stitches are nice, a lot more even. This portion right here was very just kind of messy looking before I washed it and laid it out flat and kind of pulled it out, and now it's laying a lot more nicely. So the last thing, we're gonna weave in all of our ends, and I have already done like the sleeves, they're like the end of the cuffs and stuff. We had already gone over how to do that, but I am going to show you, actually before I pull it all the way out, I'm going to show you how to do the underarm. You can tell over here there's very, very little tiny hole there, and it was a little bit bigger before I washed it. Once I hand washed it, laid it out flat, and got all of my stitches nice and even as I laid it flat, it really, you can't really tell unless you're looking so close. And this is under the armpit. When you're wearing it, you're not even going to see it. But I am going to show you on this other side here. I did not finish this one because I wanted to show you. If I just pulled it inside out, and then if I put my hand on the inside and run my finger along where that hole might be, you can see that it is a little bit looser right there on the front, on the back of the armpit. I'm going to show you how to kind of sew that up with the end here. So this is going to do double duty. I'm weaving in the end, but I'm also closing up that little tiny hole using the yarn that's attached here from when we joined the yarn and started knitting the sleeve. So I'm going to put my hand in through the neck hole, and I'm going to use my yarn here and just kind of get over to that hole by putting, kind of going in and out of those stitches there. So now I can close up this hole. So I am just going to pick up stitches all the way around that hole, going in and around that little tiny hole, and give it a little tug. And you see that hole is completely gone. If we hadn't have done, and now I'm just going to weave in the end as I would any other place. We're not going anywhere specific, just trying to change directions a few times so that end doesn't come out as we wash and wear it. And then I lost my train of thought. Oh, if we hadn't have kind of done that little trick I showed you where I pick up one more stitch than the pattern said, and then knit the two together on the next round, that hole would have been a little bit bigger, and it would be just as easy to sew it closed. It just kind of made that step easier, or even not necessary at all. What I'm going to do is on this other side, if you have a bigger hole, I'm going to use this same little scrap of yarn here. And so here's that little tiny hole. I'm going to go over just a few and do like I'm weaving in. This is going to negate my need to weave in later. So I can just cut this end off and it won't unravel. And then I'm again going to go in under a few stitches around that hole and give it a little tug, and that sewed that right up. And then weave in the ends again no particular way. I'm just giving that a few little direction changes so we don't come unraveled later. And then I'm going to snip off both ends. Washing and blocking. Blocking is the process by which there's several different ways to do it, but it's a process by which you take a finished project and help it lay nicely, get all the stitches nice and even. It'll soften up your piece quite a bit. What I did for this, since it's 100% wool, I filled my sink up with warm water, not too hot, and put in just a squirt of hair shampoo. Because wool is a lot like human hair in that you can kind of wash it the same way and condition it and it'll be nice. I just use some cheap Walmart hair shampoo and I just kind of squish, kind of just hand wash it and then run it under some running water and just kind of rinse it out that way. Then what I do is I lay my piece on a towel, just a bath towel, and roll it up in the towel and then press, and I even stand on it and kind of press all of the excess water out. And then I would just lay it down on my spare bed and just kind of pull it out nicely as it's damp. Pull it out nicely. At that point, what you can do is measure it. If it is not, if it's within half an inch or so, you can usually just kind of pull it out in the direction of the knitting, and that will help it get a little longer. And that's for sweaters, that's all I need to do. For things that require a little bit more pulling, like with lace or something like that, there's actually blocking mats that are kind of a rubbery plastic, I don't even know what they're made out of, but that pins will push easily into. And this is just not having to do with sweaters anymore, just kind of general knitting info. I have these pins that if you're really needing to pull things out, you can pin it in a blocking mat and pull out nicely. That's kind of more for shawls and things that you need to open up those like lacy holes and stuff. And then I just let it dry. And then we are done, ready to wear, ready to gift, ready for whatever is coming next. So if you have questions, drop them in the comments and I am happy to answer them. And be sure to like and subscribe and let me know what you would like to see next. The next class I have planned is a colorwork hat. So that's a hat with 2 different colored yarns, and that is in a fun pattern. But after that, I am open. Let me know what you want, and I am happy to make a class about it.